Welcome back, Gadgeteers. Apple does a surprise MacBook Pro refresh and axes the 2015 model at the same time. You won't see any changes from the outside as the chassis and Retina displays stay exactly the same as before, but the new lineup will see a large performance boost. Given the choice, what would you buy? Many have complained about the MacBook Pro redesign that was released in 2016, even going so far as to call it just a MacBook minus the Pro. Looking at the beautiful but limited chassis, it's easy to see why, with the missing card reader slot, USB Type-A ports, and no more full HDMI port. The problems didn't end there for the MacBook redesign, as the butterfly keyboard problems gained enough attention to trigger a class action lawsuit. If you were thinking the problem will be fixed with the 2018 model, think again. Although there is a butterfly version 3 coming out, it will only protect against dust getting inside the keyboard, not the stickiness that so many have reported. Apple is also working on making butterfly version 3 more quiet. Personally, I love the tactile feel and the auditory click I hear when I type. I find it very satisfying. Unfortunately, older model MacBooks and MacBook Pros will not be getting the newer version 3 keyboard if you send it in under the keyboard replacement program. In the case of users who sent in their 2016 models, the problem simply resurfaced again within months. On the plus side, the 2018 model of the MacBook Pro is released with the newest Intel processor, at least on some models. If you still decide to buy the 13-inch base model, you'll be stuck with the 7th generation dual-core processor. The $1,799 version of the 13-inch model comes with the latest 8th-gen processors with 4 cores, 8 threads, and a turbo boost of 3.8 GHz compared to the 3.6 GHz of the 7th gen processors. I doubt you really notice the turbo boost difference, but you will notice the additional cores and threads. The new 2018 model will now include a RAM option of 32 GB, which is great to hear and will certainly make the MacBook Pro a contender for high-level work such as video editing. Keep in mind that the 32 GB option is only available on the MacBook 15-inch along with the 6-core 12-thread processor. If you do want that 32 gigs of RAM, you'll have to pony up $400 more to the purchase price for a total of $2,799. PC doesn't sound so bad after all looking at that price. The RAM is also DDR4 running at 2400 MHz, which will also help to boost the speed of the 2018 models. Apple still failed to update the Retina display to full 4K, something PC makers have been doing for years. It's likely Apple would have to reduce its vaunted 10 hours of battery life, which they seem very loath to do. Personally, I'd rather have a higher DPI display than longer battery life. Perhaps what's most surprising is the fact that Apple has been doing a great job of refreshing the MacBook Pro annually since the 2016, even if it is slower than the 6-month refresh cycle of similar PC laptops. It appears as if Apple has heard the criticism about stale options regarding its lineup, at least with the MacBook and the MacBook Pro. Let's hope the Mac is soon to follow as well with annual hardware refreshes. On a sad note, the availability of the 2015 Retina model of the MacBook Pro has come to an end with the release of the powerful 2018 model. Dearly missed will be the highly functional chiclet keyboard, the variety of ports, and the lack of a need for a dongle for every single piece of hardware you want to connect. Think of it this way: if Apple added a card reader, a full HDMI port, maybe at least one USB-A port on the 2018 model, we would have a nearly perfect MacBook Pro. Oh, and a MagSafe power connector, and a chiclet keyboard. Anyway, the 2018 model does support Thunderbolt 3 on all of its USB-C ports, which is a great advantage for hardware that can use it. The 2015 model only had Thunderbolt 2, but it does have 2 ports without the need for a dongle. Added to the fact that the 2015 model is now 3 full generations behind in processor design, there's really little reason to pick one up. Geekbench 4 single-core scores on the 2015 13-inch 2.7 GHz model came in at 3,544 with a multi-core of 6,743. versus the leak scores of a 13-inch 2018 model, single core 4,448 and multi-core 16,607. There really is no point in even entertaining the idea of buying a MacBook Pro 2015 unless you can find one used for a great price and really only need a glorified internet machine. Cost is still a big factor when considering any MacBook, however. The MacBook Pro 2018 with the new Coffee Lake 4-core processor, 16 gigs of RAM, and 512 gigabytes will run you $2,199. With a similarly packaged PC laptop with an i7 processor, starts at about $1,600. We're talking a savings of $600. Is the 2018 refresh enough to run out and buy a new machine if you have a 2016 or 2017 MacBook Pro? It is if you're a heavy user and you need the processing power and added memory. I was very surprised how much faster the quad-core Yoga 920 was in comparison to the older dual-core Yoga 910. The Coffee Lake quad-core processors are made nearly a 200% performance improvement in some cases, such as video rendering. Alright, update time on the render process with the videos between the Lenovo Yoga 920 and 910. The 920 has finished at 36 minutes 23 seconds, and the Yoga 910 is still rendering with 27 minutes remaining, so it's a little bit over halfway and still chugging away. So I'm actually really impressed. I'm stunned at the render time on this 4-core system on the Yoga 920. So far, so good. When the Yoga 910 wraps it up, we'll come back. The Yoga 910 finally finished. 1 hour, 9 minutes, 2 seconds. Many viewers have told me Apple consumers don't care about the savings and are locked hard into the Apple ecosystem. Although that is true to some extent, it's interesting to see the comments I receive from former Mac users who have jumped ship for a PC-based laptop, myself included. But that's a story for another time. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Do the usual good stuff if you did enjoy it. If not, you also know what to do. And I will see you next time on Fast Gadgets. This video was made possible with support from viewers like you. If you find this video useful, consider becoming a patron for as little as $1 a month at patreon.com/FastGadgets.